back to Stylish Naija YouTube channel. I want to say thank you to all of our subscribers. Thank you all for subscribing to Stylish Naija YouTube channel. If you are new to the channel, you are highly and very welcome. If you have not subscribed, please, I would appreciate if you hit on the subscribe button and then hit on the bell also to get an update whenever I upload a new video. Okay, so in today's class, I'm so excited. I'm going to be showing you how to cut and sew this gorgeous trendy basque or waistline dress or waistline gown. So you can see it is a gown, so you really have to take a very good look at it and then you see it that it is a gown. Okay, so if you want to register for our online classes, you can see my number scrolling through the screen. Just send me a message on WhatsApp and then I'll give you the details of the classes that we have for this month. And then you can also follow me on all of my social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, all at Stylish Naija. Okay, so now let's get started. So I have the fabric that I'm going to be using. This fabric is like a damask. It's a thick fabric though. So that's what I'm going to use. So I'm going to be mixing it with this lace to just give it some kind of contrast. So that's what we're going to be doing. So now let's get started. So in cutting this dress, what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be using my basic gown pattern. Yeah, my basic gown pattern. In case you don't know how to draft a basic gown, so I have a link. I'm going to drop it. I already have it on my channel. You can use any gown pattern of your choice. Just cut your gown. The whole story about this dress is that front, so that's what we're going to be doing justice to. So that's that. So it's just a normal gown. So let me explain it first. It is a normal straight gown. If you look at it from the top to the down, it's a normal straight gown. Then that basque effect now came up attached to it. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be cutting out the neckline. You can see the yoke is like a Queen Anne yoke. So we'll do that and then we'll get started. Well, the first thing, I'm going to transfer this pattern now to my fabric. So I'm going to cut out two first because I'm going to pieces this pattern. So let me cut out my basic dress for the front and the back before we work on the pattern. Okay, so you can see I finished cutting out the front and the back piece. So I use the same pattern. The back is a bit bigger than the front with 1 inch. So now I'm going to keep them on the side and then we're going to start right away. Okay, so you can see my pattern. So I've not added my dart. So when I'm transferring, I'm sewing on my dress, I'll add a dart to it. So the first thing, so if you notice the front, like I said, it is like a Queen Anne neckline. Okay, so now what we're going to do now, we're going to mark out the neckline. So it is like the neckline is like a Queen Anne type of neckline. So that's what we're going to do. So in doing that, you're going to determine how deep you want it to be. So this is my bust point, this is my under bust and my half cut. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come to this part like this. I'm going to use about 7 inches for my neckline depth. So this is 7 inches. I'm going to mark the 7 inches. So from this 7 inches, I'm just going to create like an arc. Just create it into the armhole point so you can see it is a simple process. So I'm just going to highlight it. So from this point, just make a back flip, and then the next thing we're going to do now, after this part, you're going to cut out the side, that's like the shoulder. So for this shoulder, if you notice, I actually did not add any extra. The shoulder measurement is 7 inches. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave it like that, and then from this part, you are going to determine how wide you want the shoulder to be. So on this part, I'm going to come to this part. I'm going to mark about 3 inches. You can mark 3.5, so it depends on what you want. So I'm going to mark 3 inches here, and then I'm going to come to this part, this armhole area part like this. I'm just going to do this. So I'm going to mark from this point. I'll place my tape like this. I'll mark 2.5 inches like this. So 3 inches, 2.5, and then I'm going to do this. I'll just slant it into that point like that. So you see our neckline. So this part you blend it. So that's that. So this whole part now we're going to cut off. And then the next thing, so for the other effect at the down part, that curve that we're going to have here. So for that, you're going to determine how wide or deep you want it to be. So from this, I'm just going to do 1 inch. So that's 1 inch from this point. I'll just mark it like this, 1 inch above my bust line. So I'll just create a curve like this into this armhole part like this. So this you can actually do, you just do it the way, because this part we're going to cut it off, do it however you want to. So you just create like another curve at the down, and then you have a curve at the top. So we are done for that. So the next thing now, we're going to create out the basque effect here. So for that basque effect, what I'm going to do, so I'm going to come down from my under bust line. I'm just going to come down with 2 inches like this. I'll come down by with 2 inches, and then I'm going to measure how long I want it to be. So that basque effect on my dress is going to be 19 inches. So this is 19 inches. So what I'm going to do from this point like this, I'm just going to mark to get my curve. So you see, it is simple. So we are done. So now we're going to cut out now. So before cutting out, okay, we're going to cut this out. So the next thing now, for the back yoke, I'm just going to do a regular back. So I'm not adding a yoke on the back part of my dress. So the back is just going to be normal. So it's only the front that I'm working on. Okay, so now we're going to cut out. So the first one will cut out like this. So you can see that it is looking like what we have on the picture, right? So this now we're going to transfer to our fabric. Now, so this part now transfer on the fabric. This I'm going to cut out with a separate fabric. So like I said, it was attached separately to the dress. So but these ones are attached on the dress directly. Okay, so I've placed all of my pieces on my dress. So I'm going to cut this ones off. So like I said, this one you are going to cut separately. So this is this one. So it is cut separately. So I'll take that out. So this I'm going to cut out on my dress now. I'll just go ahead and do that. Okay, so I've gone ahead and cut out my pieces. So this is the shoulder, the side shoulder, and then I'm going to, so this for this, so I cut this out. So this we're going to use as a facing on top like this. So it's going to sit, excuse me. So I'm going to use this as a facing. So we'll go back to our machine and let's go and put our pieces together. So this I cut out two pieces. I'm going to sew and turn, and then we're going to add all of our lines on it inside of it. So just go over and start stitching. Okay, so welcome back to our sewing table. So we're going to start stitching now. So but before we start, I'm going to do some little explanation. So this is the basque effect at the center. So you can see. So what I did, I opened up on the dot lines, and then the center part, I just opened it up. You understand? So I opened it up too, so that it will have firmness. So this is what I'm talking about. I opened this part and then added the dot to it. So that's what we have here. And then this is the shoulder part. That's the shoulder, that is more of like the yoke. So I cut out another pieces. So I cut out two pieces. You know, I'm using lace. So I cut out two pieces like this. So I then sewed and around the shoulder part, that's around the neckline part like this. I just joined it together. So you see what I'm talking about. So it's joined on this side so that I will have a neat finishing. So this part is where it's going to join to the back, and then this is where it's going to connect to the shoulder. So that is for that. So I left that. And then the next thing, so for the front piece, I've gone ahead, I've added my dart to it. So I've added my dart. So I'm going to add bra cups to it. So the bra cup, I'm just going to take it, I'll stitch it down on this three parts, and then I'll do the same thing to the second one also I'm going to add the bra cup. So I've done this before, so I'm not, just what you would do, just give it a tack here, here, just to secure it. Make sure it is on your under bust line, so you see where my dart is starting from. Just stitch it down. So I'll do that. And then I've cut out my lining also. Just cut it the same way you cut the back and the front. And then for the back, so I've added my dart to the back part. So I'm just going to go ahead now. I'll add my neckline to the back. So I'm just going to add a 3 inches neckline to the back pieces. So you know we use 3 inches for the front. So we use 3 inches for the back. So I'll use 4 inches depth. Yona does not want very deep neckline. So I'll just mark it like that and then I'll cut it out. So for the back, like I said, we're not adding any yoke. So for the back, I'll just, so you see it is normal back. I'm just going to go ahead and sew with my lining and turn. So that one is off. So now we're going to start stitching this. I'm going to show you how to stitch it. So first of all, I'm going to join the dart lines back together. I'll join this part and then join the middle, and then we'll attach our bias. So you're just going to open up, and then I'm going to place the first one. So I'll just place it here and then I'll sew it down to the end. So this, I'm just going to turn like this and then I will stitch it down. Okay, so you can see I'm done doing the first one. So this same way, so for the ones on the side, so you can determine how you want to place them. So but first of all, place the side ones before you place this one. So I'm just going to cut out two. So I'm going to add two on mine. I'll add one here and then one here. So I'll just go ahead and do that, and then I'll do this one and then come back and show you how it will look like. Okay, so I finished stitching my basque effect. So and then I turned it. So I just, the second pieces that I cut, so I used it to turn it out. So the next thing I'm going to do now, I'm going to take this part, so the center part, I'm going to join it. So it's better we join it. I'm going to join it first. So I'm going to take the center piece from the center piece like this. At the center point, I'm going to pin it, and then I'm just going to sew it and then navigate the curve to the end. So I'll do that also before joining to the fabric. So I'll just go ahead and then I'm going to do that right now. Okay, so I finished stitching. I finished joining both of them together rather. So the next thing we're going to do now, we're going to use this to turn on our front neckline. Okay, so I finished stitching it. So you see it is looking beautiful. So I've not ironed it yet. I'm just still working. So the next thing now, so you see where the inside is looking. So it's looking beautiful. So I've not added the cups, but I'm still going to add it once I'm done. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do now, I'm going to add, join the back and the front together. So like I said, for the back, I'm not doing I'm just doing the regular back. So this style you can actually adapt it into any style. You can do a loop, you can, whatever pattern you want to use. So I'm going to take this part now, the shoulder part like this, and then I'm going to join the shoulder to shoulder like this. So just go ahead, I'll stitch and then join my side seam. I'll join the side seam and then come back and show you how it will look like. Okay, so at the end of the day, so you can see how our dress looks like. So you see the basque on the front. So for the clients, she actually does not want that sleeve. So if people want the sleeve, you can just drop it in the comment section and then I'll do a video about the sleeve. So this one is just like a corporate look. So we're just going to add a basic sleeve to it. And then for the basque, if you want yours to be longer, you can make it as much as up to 25. So with that, it will be longer than what I have on her. So you can see the neckline, it came out beautifully well. And then, like I said, the back is just normal. So thank you so much. If you find this video helpful, I would appreciate if you hit on the like button. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe. Thank you so much. I'll see you.